You know what makes a video hard to make? You have to stop playing to make it. It's a good problem to have though, because we take the initiative to look at the new games on the market. Here we have Elite Dangerous, a sci-fi space simulator by Frontier Developments, the fourth game in the Elite series. It's been crowdfunded through Kickstarter. It went through the whole alpha stage and the beta stage. Now it's fully released. I've been noticing a resurgence in space combat in the last couple of years, and it's mainly because of Star Citizen, but I've never heard of the Elite series until now, and this game is one I just happened to come across. Let's take a look. It's an open world, or rather an open galaxy, and you can pretty much do anything you want and go anywhere you want. It's playable with a mouse and keyboard. It feels pretty good, but I've mainly used a flight stick and a keyboard to play the game instead. That's where it's at. The main thing I like to do in the game is hunting pirates because, as many of you already know, I like blowing stuff up. Take them out and get paid at a starport. Simple enough. There are a few other ways you can make some money, some legal, others not so much. I haven't found trading commodities to be worth it, especially at the beginning when you only have cargo space for 4 items and you don't have the money to buy the goods in the first place. Taking jobs posted on a bulletin board pays out a lot more. Some of these jobs are illegal, so that's something to consider depending on the faction who owns the territory. Finding stolen or illegal goods and selling it on the black market is an easy way to make money, especially when you take a job asking you to find something very specific. I do not take the assassination jobs because I don't have the weapons to take out the target. Then there's the mining, which I find to be extremely tedious and boring. It takes a few seconds to break off a chunk of an asteroid, then you collect these chunks the same way that you collect cargo, but now you have to collect several pieces of them, and they only give you a small percentage of a single unit of cargo. You also have to dedicate components to a mining laser, refinery, and more cargo space, so you're essentially defenseless as a miner. On paper, this is the kind of job you would do in groups, where you have several miners and several ships to defend you. You use the credits you earn to buy new ships and components. You have your choice of energy weapons, ballistics, and missiles. Basically, you choose what your ship can do. Remember that this is a space simulator, not like those humorous simulator games like Goat Simulator, but a simulator of realism, at least a simulator of our sci-fi understanding of space. This is a very complicated game. Simply grasping the basics can take hours, but once you've docked and undocked at a few ports, moved some cargo around, and blown up a few space pirates, you've basically played the whole game. It's extremely lacking in content, but somehow, someway, the little content it did have kept my attention for hours on end. So, with that in mind, how will this do in the video game market? The biggest takeaway is that the game's official release is still far from complete. So their versioning scheme confuses me, and I can imagine other people are confused as well. Version 1.0 means the game is done, all the planned features are in the game and fully functional. Things like co-op missions and wingmen are planned to be added next year, and atmospheric flight will be added even later. Is this still an alpha? Based on what I've seen and heard, it's technically not. The best kind of not. Everything in the game is working properly, no crashes or bugs. Perhaps all the missing content was not a part of the original design, so we could technically call this a complete game, and all the new stuff being added would be part of an expansion. Someone who's more involved in this game can speak to that in more detail. All I can say about that is, everything in the game seems to be working flawlessly. What I can talk about is the community. It seems very active and it's continuing to grow. There's the official forums for the game and the Elite Dangerous subreddit, along with several other subreddits depending on what you want to do in the game. There will be Let's Plays, but I highly doubt they'll be interesting simply because of the sheer amount of downtime you have between doing things. It's a boring game to watch. A few months from now, things will be more or less the same. That's not enough time for the developer to roll out some new features, but the community will generally be as they are now. Considering the nature of the game, I'd say it'll continue to be active in the months to come. This is the kind of game that's best played with other people, not just 2 or 3 of your buddies, but with clans, guilds, companies, or whatever they're called these days. The people who are more into solo play will be long gone, but if you're interested in playing with a community, or just the occasional encounter with another player, you won't have a problem with this game. I think this is a good example of a sharp contrast between what a game offers and what you can enjoy from it. There's still a massive galaxy you can explore, even though you'll never see a fraction of a percent of it. You could say it's a game where you have to make your own fun. Roleplay, be an explorer, a scavenger, a fantastic trader, or a notorious pirate or bounty hunter, but it comes at a price. $60. Yes, it's AAA price. For most people, it's just not worth it. I won't recommend against it though, but you should think long and hard before you buy it. This is an open-ended space sim that will have more content in a couple of years. If you've played other space sims prior to this, then you'll know beforehand whether you'll enjoy this or not. In any case, we'll follow up on this game in a few months and perhaps they'll surprise us with something. Thanks for watching.